The 2-on-1, 3-on-2, I used to spend tons of time on that in practice, and all kinds, 4-on-3 and 3-on-2 and 2-on. And then I started this habit of, at the end of the season, making myself go through and chart how we scored for the entire season. It meant rewatching every game and me keeping the stats. I want to know how many 2-on-1s were there, how many 3-on-2s were there, in terms of percentages of the amount of stuff you score with in a single game. Free throws, my set play, my perfect out of bounds play, all that, right? And of course, you know the story. I found out, by the way, in doing that we scored about 20% on my set plays. And yet I was spending 80% of my time in practice on set plays. And then I found out that the largest category in charting score was breakdown basketball. Just stuff where something had broken down and we scored on it, And I thought, holy cow, I'm spending 80% of my time on 20% of my point production. That ain't very smart coaching. And I'm spending 20% of my time, not even that, on breakdown principle stuff. I'm not even spending that much time on it. And yet that's our biggest category. And that's when it really pricked me. This is like 1995, 96. I thought, I got to come up with something. This is dumb for me to spend 80% of my time on stuff that only gives me 20% production. So, of course, then that tells you how smart I was. It took me like 7 years to come up with the read and react, okay? But in that statting, I found out that, man, there just wasn't that many 2-on-1 and 2-on-1s. There was more of them than 3-on-2s, but there was very few of those nice, clean, ball in the middle, 2 guys and 2 guys back, 3-on. And I'm spending tons of time on that in practice. I just cut that out. I went to about this much every day, enough that they're familiar with the passes in the lanes, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, because it just doesn't produce that much for me. So I want you to know why I'm folding that in. This isn't the read and react, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, but I got to drill it somewhere. So I just want them to see that this fits into our full court stuff. That's all. That's all I'm doing with this, okay? Just enough that you guys are familiar, okay? Now, I do this on the video, but I still like passing this on. It was Don Meyer's son passed this on to me. And he said, would you play defense right there? And you and me are going 2-on-1 right here. And I got this from him. We had him come out and train our team for a week. And man, he's good. And he said, on a fast break, get the ball in your inside hand and make this simple read, okay? If you start backing up, first of all, I need to go to the goal. Let me back up a second. By the way, stay parallel with me. The timing will be, if you get ahead of me, it won't be, okay? First of all, me, go to the rim. Don't go to pass, okay? And if you start backing up and trying to play both, I'm just going to snatch up and score, okay? All right? But if you decide to take me, okay? If you take me, I push it and I fade this way so that I don't charge, okay? And, of course, better players got into, all kinds of nice fakes with better players, where you start backing up a little and they do that kind of stuff and snatch over and stuff. But yeah, great players have picked that up, okay? But our players, my players, had the ball in their outside hand because that's what I taught them. But on a fast break, there is no defense right here. That's why you have an outside hand. There's no defense here. And they would come to this point and have to do this to get it over there, and it gets deflected, it screws up the timing, blah, blah, blah. In other words, we didn't convert. And that next season, I did this drill once a day 2-on-1. You have to have it in your inside hand. You got to push and separate from it so you don't charge the guy. And our conversions 2-on-1 doubled the next year. This isn't clinic talk because I'm statting every season at that point in time. I knew exactly how many conversions we had the previous year, before I taught it, and the year after I taught it. And I was real happy with that. And you could hear guys on our bench yell. There'd be a turnover, the guy starts taking off, and they'd say, inside hand! Kid would get over to his inside hand, push it, boom, left. Okay?